And yes, if we really in Africa want to create jobs, prosperity, and also, okay, somebody was telling me that yes, there's a great GDP growth here in Côte d'Ivoire, but it's not trickling down. Just like us, also in Nigeria, when you look at it, even when we're having 7-8% of GDP growth, down there, they hardly see anything.
The trickle through is not happening.
It is trickling, but slowly.
Not serious.
Not serious. Yeah. So the only way to have these things to trickle fast enough is through agriculture, where now, and that's why we have a greater advantage. I mean, you have a ready market, which is the difficulty of a lot of continents, but we have a market because the African continent imports more goods than any other continent. So what we need to do is to make sure that we transform our own goods. And it is very, very important more. Let me give you an example. Today, between Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire, they actually produce 2/3 of the world's cocoa.
Yeah.
Okay? But the total amount of these exports that they have is about $6 billion. Okay? But the chocolate market is $100 billion.
Yeah. Yes.
So you can see that, they are just working for other people.
Yeah. The problem is how to create African brands.
We need to do that. Even if it's not African brands, they should
brand.
That's right. They should actually have some of these factories here.
Yeah. But they need to create a brand in order to sell it, Marks and Spencer and, markets everywhere.
The brand creation, Mo, is not really that difficult. The only thing that you have to be sure of is that your quality is right and your pricing is right.
Yeah.
Once you have that, nobody looks at where it is manufactured.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because most of the shoes you buy in Italy, they are not manufactured in Italy, especially in the U.S.
Is it U.S.?
Yeah,
I thought U.S. has stopped manufacturing everything. They say China does everything now.
Well,
they
China
still
produces
make shoes in America?
Yeah, they do all that. But right now, your friend is trying to drag all the industries to go to America.
Okay, we'll not talk about that
Trump.
now. Okay. Right, I mean, that's very interesting. Let us move also to, although the point of agriculture, I hope it registered. And that's a very important area because first, we are not really using all the lands we have. We have huge amount of arable land which has not been used.
60% of the world's arable land.
And we're not using that. Then even the land we are using, we have the lowest productivity in the world. And there is a huge upside there if we improve that productivity. So this is an area people need to look at very carefully.
We'll change that though more before you go on to your next listen. The rice, before in Nigeria we used to do only one crop per annum. Now we do 2 crops, and they used to get about 1 to 2 tons per hectare. Now we have varieties that we imported that are giving us up to 8 tons per hectare. So once you have this, it will help the farmers. It will help a lot of people to now realize that, look, farming is not a poor man's business. You can actually get rich faster in farming than doing something else. I mean, you look at it, today we also have fertilizer, which we used to import a lot. Okay, this fertilizer, we have laboratories that will go and test your soil and give you what kind of fertilizer that you need. Whereas right now, as of today, people use the same fertilizer for maize, for rice, for sugar, so they don't actually differentiate, including the type of soil that you have.
So this issue of best practice, why don't you produce a case study or something useful? You've been through that, and let us, other African countries, appreciate how to do it, because we need to replicate what you have done there in other countries as well. Or you plan to do it all by yourself?
No.
Okay, so you're going to allow other people. So why don't you really let people know, here is how to do it. And,
that is one of the reasons why when you look at it, I do travel, very often to various areas, where I can give a talk, sometimes inside Nigeria, sometimes outside, Nigeria. Just tell them that, hey, look, all this thing is a myth. nothing is impossible. We can really make it happen. We as Africans, we can actually, the issue is that, first of all, we have to understand that there are, in all the countries in the world, whether it's South Korea, Japan, US, those economies were actually built up by their own indigenes. So if we don't lead in Africa...
And agriculture was the basis of the development of many of these countries.
Pardon me?
Agriculture was the basis of development of many countries.
Yeah, many of these countries.
It's not backward, as people think.
No, it's not backward like us.
But because of time, let us move on a little bit different subject to talk about you as a person. And, well, you made a lot of money now, but I guess it doesn't matter now because for you it is numbers in the banks, You look at your bank statement and, how many zeros here, or it's not here or there. But
I don't even look at that at all.
You don't even like it, but it's okay. But when you made your first million or 5 million, how we deal with that? When you made your first million or 5 million? Or
the way it is that when you first start business, your target is to make your first million. Okay, fine, I did that. But after a year or so, I realized that look, I have much more than 12, 13 billion. And I said, okay, fine. All these numbers are just written numbers.
Yeah.
And one day I went to a bank.
Yeah.
At that time there were no restrictions of this, and I wrote a check and cash $10 million, and I took it home.
For yourself?
For myself, yes.
You cashed $10 million from the bank?
Yes.
Yes, and took it?
I put it in the boot of my vehicle, and I went home, and I opened it, and I look at 10 million. I said, that, okay, fine. Now I believe I have money. I know.
So you put this in the bed and slept all night on top of it. You made love to your money.
It was in the boot of my car.
Yeah.
But I brought it, and I went there by myself. I drove myself to the bank. I cashed the money. And, I put it in my room, and I look at the money, and I took it back to the bank the next day.
Thank you so much for watching that African Business News Update. And I hope that was resourceful, right? And if it was, don't hesitate to click on the subscribe button, like and share this video. And if you intend to invest on the African continent, then follow these 2 simple steps. Number 1, download our books on Amazon Kindle. You've got the first book, which is The Unique Business Idea for Every African Country. The second book right here is The African Business Startup Brain Box. The links are in the description box below. Just go right there and download them right now. And then after that, you can contact me on WhatsApp or call. Let's talk about your business. Thank you so much for watching, and don't go anywhere. There are just so many other videos on this YouTube channel, so keep browsing and keep watching and keep adding value. I love Africa. I'll see you in my next video.